We are mere days away from WWDC, and as usual, we've got a smattering of new and exciting rumors. Here are all the last minute leaks. Real quick, if you want to keep up to date with all of the latest Apple news and reviews, hit that subscribe button. This kind of goes without saying, but if you want to be surprised at WWDC, maybe skip this video. With that said, let's talk about all the new rumors. First, this has been going around for about a week or so, but Apple's going to be renaming its operating systems. As first broken by Bloomberg and independently confirmed by us here at AppleInsider, Apple will be moving to iOS 26 rather than iOS 19. That, of course, will be referring to the year and not just the next in line. The goal is to clean things up a bit. Instead of watchOS 12, iOS 19, macOS 16, they will have the same number across the board. And yes, Apple will be using 26, even though it's released here in 2025. It's kind of like car models where we get the next year's model like the year before. It's a little confusing, but I get it. Speaking of names, it appears macOS 26 will be named Tahoe. There were a lot of names under consideration. Apple's had many of them registered, but Tahoe seems to be where Apple is going in its long line of California-based names. Moving right along, I know I've talked a lot already in other videos about the big redesign coming to iOS and iPadOS. If you haven't seen the other round of it I did, I've linked it here for you. According to people familiar with the update, Apple's redesign will be extending to watchOS, tvOS, and even CarPlay. That's good news to hear and not entirely unexpected. Remember, the whole goal here is the unification of operating systems in how they look. So it makes sense that the other kind of platforms will be getting that update too. They will all be getting that glassy type makeover. On to more specific rumors. 9to5Mac has said that Apple will be bringing some new features to Messages. Messages will now have Apple Intelligence-powered automatic translation. That'll be fantastic to see. Messages will also have native polls. Right now you can do polls in iMessage if everyone downloads like a third-party iMessage app. But now it'll be native, like in other popular messaging platforms. Apple's slick live album artwork may be making its way to the lock screen too. These full-screen animations would replace the recessed square that is there now. Then, Notes will be getting the ability to export in Markdown. As far as new apps go, it's been reported for a while now that Apple will be adding a new gaming app. This whole dedicated gaming hub that's similar to maybe Razer Nexus, Xbox, or the backbone apps that are already on iOS and iPadOS. You can launch this hub, which sounds like a grown-up version of Game Center, to see your friends, who's online, chat, see leaderboards, and just launch games. I'm definitely excited for this one and hope it continues to see more games show up on iOS that aren't just mobile clones. Let me know in the comments what major titles you'd hope to see on iOS sooner rather than later. And this won't just be coming to iPhone though. This new app will appear on Mac, iPad, Apple TV, and Vision Pro too. Speaking of Vision Pro, Apple's going to be really upping its gaming focus for its spatial computer. After like a year of rumors, we're hearing a final kind of confirmation that PSVR 2 spatial controllers will be fully supported. This would go a long way in supporting actual VR titles on the headset. Apple will go as far as start labeling games in the App Store that require these spatial controllers and won't offer just hand tracking. This is what was needed for something besides job and vacation simulator to show up on Vision OS. And those aren't great. Lastly, 9to5Mac has some more rumors for AirPods. First, they sound like they'll be able to be used as a camera control. Sounds cool. Perhaps you'll be able just to hold an AirPod in your hand and squeeze the stem to act as a remote shutter for your iPhone. Apple's also looking to add new head gestures beyond just nodding and shaking as we have now. Plus, if you ever fall asleep while wearing AirPods, they can automatically pause your audio. I've definitely fallen asleep like on a flight while listening to an audiobook or a podcast and had no idea what I missed or where I fell asleep. I'd love to have this feature added. Then there will be improvements to pairing AirPods with shared iPads, like in a classroom setup. And lastly, Apple wants to improve the mics on AirPods, possibly adding some new audio mixing feature, probably AI powered. 9 to 5 harkens back to Apple's new audio mix feature released on the latest iPhones, which would make them better sources for recording audio for videos and using AirPods as a mic. Well, that's about it. These are just the latest last-minute rumors we've seen so far, but of course there will likely be more. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. As more rumors come out, I'll be doing short-form videos on them. I'll also be out at WWDC, so I'll be bringing you all the news straight from Cupertino. More soon.